Okay, this is lesson 3. We've already done 2 lessons where we've become familiar with the HVC Color Composer to some extent, some of the things it can do. This extraordinary tool has the capability of giving you a complete mastery over your color compositions. And in this exercise, we're going to be tackling what looks like a formidable piece by Matisse, one of the cutout pieces of numerous objects on a field. In the last lesson, just to review very quickly, we were assembling very simple pieces of this Matisse figure. And the harmonics on this were very simple. The harmonics basically were simple doubling progressions, 10, 20, 40 is measured on the composer. Now remember what these numbers are. They're measuring the total combined hue value chroma contrast. With that information, we can start assembling orderly, organized harmonic pieces just by controlling these intervals. And of course, that gives us access to many, many colors that we can use within the framework of a harmonic scheme. And just to give you an idea, from there we very quickly went on to do normally 20s and 40s. And I'll just pop these up very quickly just to give you a sense of how quickly you can work, how quickly you can construct these compositions, and how many you can do. You can just go on forever doing one beautiful composition after the next. All these basically are using different colors, but very similar numerical relationships between the colors. As I said, these pieces are mostly constructed out of 20s and 40s on the composer, which is a simple doubling progression. And these doubling progressions tend to give you the best, the purest, and the sweetest harmonics. For design purposes, simple doubling progressions are usually quite sufficient to do the job. All right, now we're going to tackle this piece here. Get it up to a size where you can see it. All right, here we're going to use we're going to open up the HVC Color Composer, and we're going to use the auto range function. This is extremely useful for designers and painters because it gives you a nice medley of simple proportional relationships or harmonious numerical relationships. Here our target color is white because we're going to execute this on a white field. We're going to create a palette using our auto range function. And we're going to save this palette to our desktop. And we're going to bring that palette into our swatch box. Go grab it here. All right, now the beautiful thing about this palette now is that this is a harmonic palette that relates to white. And since we'll be working on a white field, anything that we choose from this palette, at least objectively speaking, harmonically speaking, when it comes to the numerical relationships between the colors, this is all going to work well together. All right, to start in here, we're probably going to use about 7 or 8 different colors for this piece. This is where your intuition comes in from the available selection within your harmonic scheme. Obviously, this is the more subjective aspect of the work because I'm picking colors that I think will work, you know. Aesthetically and subjectively here. So we're going to knock this off pretty quick, but you can see what a powerful way this is to attack a color composition instead of choosing a color and then wondering, you know, if another color will work well with it and sitting there for quite some time looking at it and then making other decisions. You have a very systematic procedure, framework, whereby you can make these judgments. You have a way at going at these problems. You have a procedure, and it's effective because the harmonics are objective. Very, as we said in the previous lesson, very similar to the way music works, both in terms of tone and timing. Basically, there's always a simple underlying mathematical proportion to the relationships, and of course, color works the same way. And we'll polish this off here with maybe a nice red. So for the most part here, what you have are this is basically a smattering of 20 HVC contrast steps and 40, which is a simple 1 to 2 progression and tends to give you the sweetest and most beautiful harmonies and the most highest feeling of orderliness in a work of art when it comes to color composition. So without much fuss or muss, we did a pretty nice, pretty attractive composition here. Now, of course, as you're working, you may want every artist works in a different way. You might be the kind of artist that likes to do a half a dozen compositions very quickly and then pick the best one, or you might want to work more slowly. But in either case, you're laying the foundations for what will make any color composition work, which will be an organized underlying harmonic composition. Exactly the same way musical intervals work in musical systems. And just to give you an idea, we very quickly went on and did a bunch of these, just to show that you can use a similar harmonic and come up with good results. I think these are all basically 10, 20, 40 combinations in terms of the contrast. I made an exception here for this one piece in the middle, where I just basically did a 25-50 combination on the composer, which turned out to be very sweet. All right, I think that's enough for this lesson, and we'll move on to lesson 4 after